Yeah, yes. Nets fans, what's good? Yo, Nets fans, what's happening, man? Media day, Sean Marks talk about Cam Thomas. We finna get to it. Hell yeah. Yes, sir. But first,
BROOKLYN, 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 BROOK. We rap. Okay, we rap. Okay, we rap. Jay, by the way. Okay, we rap. BROOKLYN.
yo, what's good, man? I gotta give a shout out to all the Nets fans, but in particularly, I want to give a shout out to Nets Kingdom, man, because they always be having the content. Yo, all of the stuff that I be pulling that we see visually a lot of the times, it be from them. If it's you know what I'm saying? Um, you know, like clips in the gym or wherever, the press conference. Like, bro, they always get the content. So I wanted to give a special shout out to them, man. Facts. But we out here, man. You know what I'm saying? I seen Sean Marks talking about Cam Thomas, and we're gonna react to that. And it's kind of what I said. He said it was pleasant conversations. You know what I mean? And he sounded like this optimism that is a chance that Cam Thomas can't come back to the team. But this is the business of basketball. You understand what I'm saying? So that being said, I want to see what's up. You know what I mean? I thought it was interesting what he said. Um, okay. Okay, so we got Sean Marks reacting to a few things. We got Sean Marks in a few things. So I'm gonna react to some of these comments. I mean, some of this stuff going on. We're gonna see what up. Shout out to Jamal. Shout out to Quest One. Shout out to Players for Keeps. 20. Yeah, man, it's finna be lit. Shout out to JDJ in the chat. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I want to give a special thank you to the members of the page. Maria Signal Moore, Jellio, Marcus, Nets DNA, and Joey BK. Y'all already know what it is. You heard me? Y'all already know what it is. We're gonna get to the content, you know what I'm saying? See what Sean Marks is talking about, you know, and we're gonna react to it. Facts. Uh It says Sean Marks on the Nets organization response to Michael Porter Jr. controversial media tour this summer. Now I'm gonna get to the Cam Thomas part of the show real quick. While I'm on a panel by myself, because I know how I could get when the panel get crowded. So I'm gonna get to this portion of the show first, and I'm gonna react to it. Let me turn it up. Let me know if y'all can hear it in the chat. Can y'all hear it? Let me know.
He said he's approached this in a very mature manner. It's part of the business. It's maybe the ugly part of the business when you can't find a common ground, but at the same time, how he's developed and the hours that he's put in the gym, not only here, but on his own, speak volumes. So, he's in it. He knows that. He's been very upfront, very mature, as I said before about it. We've had very pleasant conversations throughout the summer about the process. I think we both sides understand what's at stake, but I also don't want to jump to conclusions just because a common ground couldn't be met this summer doesn't mean he's not a net in the future or throughout the season. So the hope is we go out there, as Jordy alluded to, everybody has an opportunity, everybody plays and competes, and includes whether it's Cam or whether it's the young rooks or the two ways.
Yep, exactly. See, exactly. He didn't give a definite answer that Cam Thomas is not going to be on the team. He made it seem like it is possible that going into that very next season that they still have a situation where Cam Thomas possibly can be on the Nets. Like, this is what it is. This is what he's saying, and we reacted to it. Now, I agree. I think that he was being honest about the professionalism about Cam Thomas and not seeing eye to eye with Cam Thomas. And in my opinion, that shows that professionalism goes a long way, not only with the Brooklyn Nets, but other teams, other franchises too, because, franchises want to get a report for, what kind of players coming to their team, or if they want that player on a part of the organization and whatnot. So, again, hearing this side of the professionalism of Cam Thomas from a Sean Marks after everything that was said by fans, it shows that yes, the business is prevalent, but it's not as bad as fans might have made it out to be. It's like John was saying, oh, it's nasty, this and that. Yeah, it's easy to say that, from our perspective, but from listening to his through his lens, from what he's saying, his perspective, it don't seem that way. It seemed like they didn't see eye to eye as far as negotiations, and there's no bad blood there. There's still a situation where Cam Thomas can raise his trade value for the Brooklyn Nets, and you know what I'm saying, before December, or a situation where Cam Thomas raises value for the Nets, where he's looking at it like now the Nets are thinking about keeping. They're reconsidering keeping Cam Thomas. This is what I'm hearing from Sean Marks. This is what I like to hear. This is what I know. Shout to Quest One. He said it's over. The word is signed. Oh, he gave a politician answer. Y'all not going for it? Y'all not going for it? Quest One said, how many times did he lie to us? Oh man. All right, so y'all don't believe him about Cam Thomas. I think, and if you didn't hear what he said, this is what he said. He said he's approached this, and he's talking about Cam Thomas. He said Sean Marks on the Nets and Cam Thomas failing to agree to a contract extension. Sean Marks says he's approached this in a very mature manner. It's part of the business, maybe the ugly part of the business, but when you can't find a common ground, he's a net. He knows that. He's been very upfront, very mature. I think both sides understand what's at stake, but I also don't want to jump to conclusions just because a common ground couldn't be met this summer. Doesn't mean he's not a net in the future or throughout this season. Exactly. So basically, as much as y'all consider it a political answer, I consider it a beam, a hope, a light, saying that, yeah, it's possible for Cam Thomas to continue to be on this team because they don't have bad, both of them have professionalism. Listen, when you can make Quest One, when you can agree to disagree, you can really have a conversation with people. You know what I'm saying? You can really, get somewhere far as why you started the conversation in the first place. You are able to do that when you can agree to disagree. We don't have to agree on everything, but we still can go forward amicably, contingent on how things are done. But again, man, like I said, I'm not going to be here for a long while. I'll probably pull up later tonight. You know what I'm saying? But I might throw the link in the chat. I ain't gonna lie to you. So now this is Sean Marks on the Nets organization response to Michael Porter Jr. controversial media tour this summer. You know what I'm saying?
As Jordy alluded to.
All right, so let's listen to this.
I guess how that kind of played out within this building.
Can y'all hear it?
Yeah, we've again those
Once we
conversations
yes.
that myself and a group have had with Michael will remain internal. I think this is, as Jordy alluded to, a new environment for him, a new market, new expectations, new roles, both on the court and in the locker room for him. So I think he's finding his way. I think and I think we'll just basically leave it at that. But I mean, he knows where the organization stands on certain issues and topics, and this market is a little different than where he was.
And I guess how that kind of played out within this building.
Yeah, we've again those conversations.
All right, so for those who didn't hear what he said, I'm gonna read it. Sean Marks on the Nets organization responds to Michael Porter Jr. controversial media tour this summer. He said those conversations will remain internal. I think this is a new environment for him, a new market, new expectations, new roles, both on the court and in the locker room. So I think he's finding his way. We'll just basically leave it at that. But he knows where the organization stands on certain issues and topics. And, this market is a little different than where he was. Again, Sean Marks, excellent answer. Now, that being said, Michael Porter Jr. is protected by the Brooklyn Nets. There was no crack there. There was him being honest and open about how they handled the situation. And immediately what stand out for me is those conversations will remain internal. Shows us sign of integrity being held by the Brooklyn Nets front office. All interesting, man. All interesting, man. We gonna see what else is going on, man. Shout out to the whole chat. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button. More than likely, y'all know I'm pulling up later tonight. You know what I mean? And I'm ready to talk ball with y'all. I don't know if I should throw the link in the chat or should I just wait till later. I'm still on the fence. Okay. What? No, it's just. Okay, hold on. Diego Demand Plantor Facia after Summer League. I didn't know that happened. I ain't know that happened. What else happened in Media Day? Did I miss anything? Okay. This is Sean Marks on Diego Demand. He's been a little bit limited with a Planta Facia after Summer League. So he's been hasn't potentially had the summer that he would have loved. Wow. See what I'm saying? Wow. Damn, that's terrible. Diego won't start this season. What, bro? Wow, bro put it up. He said he got sources on September 15th. He said Diego won't start this season. Wow, this is huge. Yo, Cam Thomas becomes even more important the fact that Diego is not starting the season. Yo, Nets X is on fire today. Yo, what is happening? Wow. I would wait to be okay to start this. They unsure if he's going to start the season. Wow. Oh my God. Now, Brian Lewis, he said, ask Diego Demand on his injury and if he'll play preseason. He said, I'm not a doctor, so it's hard for me to tell what's going on with it. So for me, it's just important to stay present. I'm trying to focus on whatever plan I have from the physicians and whatever timing I have from them. He's this is news. I did not know this. I did not know that Diego Demand was hurt. Wow, and he not sure if he's gonna start the preseason. This is very interesting. Everybody was saying Nolan Traore might be the point guard. This is what it's looking like. This is interesting because this could go many ways. If Nolan plays well while Diego is waiting to heal from his injury, what do? You want to put Nolan on the bench if he starts good, especially next to Cam Thomas? This is interesting, man. I don't know what's fitting to happen. We got some more stuff. Again, shout to Nets Kingdom, man, with the content. Brooklyn Nets coach Jordi Fernandez talks about Nick Claxton. He said, I expect Nick Claxton to have a career year and to be better. Okay.
He is. What would you like to see out of him in some growth this season?
Yeah,
I expect Nick to have his career year and to be better. I think that, dealing with some lower back issues, so on and so forth. This summer, he's looked amazing. He's put his work in. He's been working on his shot and all those things, like how committed he's been throughout the whole summer. I believe is going to help.
Yo, that's Cam Thomas in the back. Hold on. You see Cam Thomas in the back right there? Y'all was talking all that shit about Cam Thomas in Media Day. He right there in the background. Don't tell me y'all don't see Cam Thomas in the background right there. In the Kobe's. What are we talking about? Yo, John, where you at? You tagged me all day about Media Day. I bet you if I throw the link in the chat, John gonna pop up. I bet you if I do that. Now, I want y'all to see him there. So that means more than likely he might have spoke today. We're going to keep it going.
I believe it's going to help Nick take that next step. Also becoming my father. I'm very, very, very happy for him and his family. And that's what I want to see from him. And he's done the proper steps so far. And I'm excited to watch him in training camp. And once again, I want that competitive, that competition open for every spot.
He's an emotional player, and there were times last year where he's picking up technical fouls because he's walking that fine line. How are you with technical fouls? Are you okay with it if it's the first 3 quarters and fourth quarter you think, no, never you could do that? How do you kind of manage that with him?
Yeah, we all have emotions. I think that at one point it couldn't have that many ejections or technicals, but I want Nick to be emotional, to play the way he plays. And then there's going to be a point that if I have to have a sit down and talk and try to help him,
Yo, see, y'all can see Cam Thomas in the background. Y'all can see what it is. Everybody making it seem like it's bad relations just because the contract didn't go through, bro. He did what was right financially for him and his future, bro. Y'all can't be mad at a player doing what's best for him himself on the financial side. The franchise see it away, and they're going to do his best, and but how they see it, and you want to come to agreement, but maybe it will, but just not at that specific time. You know what I'm saying? Word, but it is what it is. We're going to keep it going. You know what I mean? I just thought that was interesting. I wonder if he got the chance to say anything. Did they talk to him yet? Team, okay. It's the rookies together. Okay.
Love it.
Do they call it the Flatbush Five? I could have swore so I heard somebody say that. What else? Okay, Jay from BK said the Slim Towers. That's funny.
Rookies, y'all gonna earn y'all keep. This
Jay from
is
BK in the building.
My starting power forward. Rookies, y'all gonna earn y'all keep. This
Yeah, shout out to Jay from
is my
BK. Yo, where you at,
starting
Jay
my
from
starting power
BK?
forward. Rookies, y'all gonna earn y'all keep. This.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Approach this in a very mature manner. It's part of the business. It's maybe the ugly part of
Talk
the
about Cam Thomas.
Yeah, just a second. What Jordy said, he's approached this in a very mature manner. It's part of the business. It's maybe the ugly part of the business when you can't find a common ground, but at the same time, how he's developed and the hours that he's put in the gym, not only here, but on his own, speak volumes. So, he's a net. He knows that. He's been very upfront, very mature, as I said before about it. We've had very pleasant conversations throughout the summer about the process. I think both sides understand what's at stake, but I also don't want to jump to conclusions just because the common ground couldn't be met this summer doesn't mean he's not a net in the future or throughout the season. So the hope is we go out there, as Jordy alluded to, everybody has an opportunity, everybody plays and competes, and that includes whether it's Cam or whether it's the young rooks or the 2As.
All right, so that's what he said. For those who didn't hear what he said, Sean Marks on Cam Thomas free agency. I think we read this though. He says maybe the ugly part of the business where you can't find common ground. Yeah, we read this. But again, like I said, you know what I mean? He's being honest about it. It was ugly where they couldn't find a common ground. I like the honesty in it, you know what I'm saying? He said, I also don't want to jump to conclusions because the common ground couldn't be met this summer. Doesn't mean he's not a net in the future or throughout the season. Now, Jordy Fernandez giving the vibes like we want Cam Thomas on the team. I understand business too, but listen, look at the roster I got. At least give me an elite scorer. Excuse me. And that's another thing. Players want to play with players. You don't think nobody in the 2026 draft see Cam Thomas like, yo, he a bucket. If I was next to him, we would play great teammates. We would be nice together. You don't think that's possible? I do. AJ could see that. David, Peterson probably could see that. But I forgot. I call him David, not David. Darren Peterson. All these other players, Cam Thomas has shown that he could be a teammate next to a lot of players. Nick Claxton too. But Nick Claxton really thrives next to a point guard, with a point guard. So, I'm just giving credit where credit is due. Shout out to all of the, content creators out there. Shout out to all y'all, you know what I mean? It said, Broken Neck Sean Marks, we listen to the naysayers. We don't listen to the Vegas odds. Go out there and compete. Success for us looks like how do we determine who are the next Nets. Let's hear it from his words and see how it sounds.
Listen
Even it
to the
sounds.
naysayers. We don't listen to the Vegas odds. Go out there and compete. We've never listened to the naysayers. We don't listen to the Vegas odds. Go out there and compete. Success for us looks like how do we determine who are the next Nets? When we look back on this season, who developed at a rate that we think, okay, this person can be, a future net for a long term, and that's what we're going to try and find. I mean, we know we've got some very young guys out there, and their development is a priority, just as it is, developing our 26, 27, and 28-year-olds. So it's a young team. They have a chip on their shoulder, and they'll follow this guy's competitive spirit, which is great. We've never
I'm gonna let y'all hear that
listened to the
again.
naysayers. We don't listen to the Vegas odds. Go out there and compete. Success for us looks like how do we determine who are the next Nets? When we look back on this season, who developed at a rate that we think, okay, this person can be, a future net for a long term, and that's what we're going to try and find. I mean, we know we've got some very young guys out there, and their development is a priority, just as it is, developing our 26, 27, and 28-year-olds. So it's a young team. They have a chip on their shoulder, and they'll follow this guy's competitive spirit, which is great. We've never listened to the naysayers. We don't listen to the Vegas odds.
So basically, he's saying that all those rumors y'all heard about us tanking, it ain't true. Now we already know what that is, so I ain't even fitting to play. Jordy won't rule out Cam Thomas being here long term. Won't rule out Thomas playing in Brooklyn beyond this season, despite signing a qualifying offer. Home scribe. Okay. Yeah, shout out to CJ. I know he out there too. CJ, he's got Zaire saying, F it. I'm just gonna let it go. I'm gonna play free. Okay, Zaire. That's what's up. Wow. Drake Powell says his knee is feeling good and he's been sticking to his return to play plan. Drake Powell knee isn't playing a 5-on-5 yet per Marks. Okay. He'll continue to ramp up. All right. I don't want to miss nothing. Okay, here we go. Jordy Fernandez says conversations with Cam Thomas this summer have been about preparation for the upcoming season. Sean Marks added that Thomas had a mature approach during contract negotiations. Won't rule out Thomas playing in Brooklyn beyond this season despite signing a qualifying offer. I like that. Shout out to CJ for the great content, man. Gotta try to get CJ on the show one of these days. Yeah, see the jerseys back. Oh, I'm trying to make sure we ain't miss nothing. We on point. Nets media day. Nets fans, we gonna react to it. Definitely fan to react to it. Let's see. All right. So hold on. Parthon, he talking about. He says biggest takeaway from Nets media day is we tanking. Basically, you getting cool Cam Boozer or Darren Peterson. Okay. Let's see, man. Noah Clowney was playing at shout out to Brooklyn Nets cats. He said Noah Clowney was playing at 220 last year. Now he's listed at 234 bulk season. Listen, man. What's going on, man? Those are good signs. They don't sound like we're gonna be bad. Those are good signs. Wow, here we go. Ding, ding, ding. I know I was looking for this content. Y'all know we fitting to get to it. We fitting to get to it right now.
So, I mean, just stay on the court. Last year was, I would say, like, 1 out of a million. I never really expected to be out that much ever. But, just be on the court playing. I think when I'm on the court, good things will happen.
They always talk about guys betting on themselves, and it seems like that's something that you're doing this season. You're pretty confident. If you can get to 70, 80 games and play the way that you've played in the past, you'll be okay in the future in terms of financially.
Yeah, I think I'll be fine. not really determined on the games, but I mean, that's definitely a good thing to be out there as much as you can. But yeah, really just want to be out there as much as I can playing the way I play. So yeah, I have no worries this year. I'm just going out there, play my game, and and just be there for my teammates.
You're locked in to Brooklyn. You said that after last season that you wanted to be back. Cam, how disappointed were you that you couldn't get a long-term deal here with Brooklyn this offseason?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but man, everything happens for a reason. You just gotta come here with the same open mind, just be ready to go, be ready to, don't let all that, affect you and how you are around your teammates and everybody else. But yeah, it's definitely frustrating, but at the end of the day, I'm here to play ball. I mean, that's the main thing, all it is to it, playing the game I love and just, enjoying my 5th year in the NBA on the Nets. So it's really just be where my feet are and just really enjoy the moment.
And when you were first broke in, you have guys like Kyrie Irving on the team, Kevin.
My boy got his head on his shoulders, huh? You heard me? JDJ said, Cam Thomas, happy to be here. Love the fans here. See what happens next year. Yeah, I'm telling you. Oh, where are you talking to the media right now? Where? Where's that? Where can I find that content at? Where can I find that content at? I do not know. Where is it at specifically? Where can I find them live streaming? Who got that live stream? Is it on the Brooklyn Nets page? Yeah, listen. He said, I'm definitely frustrated, but at the end of the day, I'm here to play ball. Excuse me. I thought what he said was very telling. I thought he was really honest, but you could see he's soft-spoken. He wasn't yelling. You could tell he was honest about his being frustrated. So that means he playing with a chip on his shoulder. A player like Cam Thomas in contract, yeah. Listen, Cam Thomas is a great player. I think y'all gonna see a lot of that this season. This is a great interview about Frankie Ice and his, his partner. You know what I mean? His co-worker. You know what I'm saying? Shout to Cam Thomas, man. This was a great interview. I was waiting to see this. Yeah. CJ Holmes. What he said, Cam Thomas on signing the qualifying offer. I'd rather control my situation as a player. That's the kind of control you want. That's what I said. I told y'all that. That's the truth. You got to put the ball in your court. You got to put yourself in a situation where you finagle and, maneuver the way where it benefits you, behooves you. The franchise always has the power. The franchise always has the say in the matter for the most part. It's nothing wrong with players standing up for themselves, trying to put themselves in a good situation or a better situation. It's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with not saying no. He can say no. Y'all doing all of this and mad at him because he said no. He can say no. He got the right to say no. He said no to something he wanted to say no to. And again, he explained and articulated the reason why he said no. You gotta respect it. How you not gonna respect it? Listen, yo, where you talking at? Exactly, Jamal. He want to work things out for the long run because he like it in Brooklyn, bro. He love it here. The fans got his back. Look at the support that the fans be giving him, bro. I be showing big love. I wrote a rap. I put it in there. I got a song coming out, bro. Come on, man. They got to work that out, bro. He's still the best scorer on the team with all of the different changes and things that happen with the team. And he's not alone. There's other players that didn't get along when it came down to contracts. There's always been in part of the negotiations of players trying to get a contract that behooves them opposed to just making it favor the franchise. That's the business. That everybody knows the business of basketball and playing the game is two different things, but they affect each other. And you hear him say it. You hear him say, I try not to let it affect me and how I am with my teammates. So these are real things that he's aware of, conscious of, and he is immediate with his answers. He's not fumbling over his words. He's well thought out. This is the professionalism that I discussed last stream. He has it. He knows how to articulate himself, and he's honest. So that being said, this was a great interview again. Shout to the content, man. I'm here for it, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, word, Liberty head coach Sandy, but they not gonna renew the head coach for 2026. Okay, we're gonna talk about that another time. Kim, have you thought about your future in Brooklyn? I'm happy to be here, and whatever happens, happens. Diego, what's your favorite song? Phoebe Bridges, what? Drake, how old do you have to be considered uncle? Like 23, what? Okay. All right, man, that pretty much covers it right there. I'm definitely going live later. I just wanted to pull up and talk my talk real quick. Jump on it early. You know what I'm saying? Throw the link in the chat later. I wanted to call ISO. I'm saying just because I wanted to, this is to be continued. This is this is a early session. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm just gonna be working harder and I'll do one early, one late. But either way, I'm not done. I feel like there's content I didn't get to. Oh, here you go. Is this it? This the audio or this just the picture? Okay, Brian Lewis said, ask Cam Thomas why he took the qualifying offer. Then next offer, he said, I'd rather control my situation. As a player, that's the type of control you want in your situation. Just going to finish the year and, see what happens. But I'm happy to be here to play in front of the fans again. Exactly. This is a very professional answer. Again, he addressed it, didn't duck. He was very subtle. And when you hear him talk, he's soft-spoken. So, again, he's not rubbing anybody the wrong way, pause or whatever. And, again, he did mention the fans. He said, but I'm happy to be here to play in front of the fans again. He know the fans got love for him. He know the fans love him, bro. Word. Subscribe to Leaf, man. Shout to Ice in the chat. Subscribe to Ice too. The Ruler FN says CT talking too political. He out of here, gang. Damn, I don't know if I want to agree with that as the Ruler FN. I don't think I want to. He going through a lot. The media, the New York media will pick him apart, the Ruler FN. He's doing the right thing. He's intentionally avoiding things that are going to trigger him to come out of pocket for the media to continue to try to pick it apart. The New York media always tries to be bigger than basketball. Always remember that. And Cam Thomas has handled it. He handled the no homo situation, pause. He handled that. He handled Spencer Dinwiddie. Remember that? He handled all of this stuff that's happening right now. He's somebody that's built for this city. He's somebody that can handle the pressure from the media and handle being the number one option on the Brooklyn Nets. He's somebody that deserves to be the number one option on the Brooklyn Nets. Everybody can't handle the media in that side of basketball, so that's why they prefer to play in smaller markets where the media isn't so giant, for lack of better words. You know what I'm saying? Word. Leave. I'm not going to grieve with Cam Thomas. I'm not worried about Cam Thomas leaving. Y'all want to talk about 2026. Y'all leave it all. Y'all want to talk about 2027. That's what y'all want to do. I don't want to talk about 2026 season. I don't want to talk about 2027 season. I do not want to hear about it. I don't want to hear that shit. I want to talk about what's happening today and what's going to happen soon. And y'all can talk about the future. I'm recapping 82 games. So I know that what I got to deal with to recap these games. And instead of me trying to predict what's going to happen in 2026, I want to know what's going to happen when he's actually playing basketball next to these players. And what players are that? Cam Thomas look like he's going to start the season. Ye gonna sound like he not going to start the season. Drake Powell sound like he not going to start the season. So that leaves us with 3 of the rookies. Nolan Traore, Danny Wolf. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Ben Surratt. And then maybe Fambo Zhang might get minutes. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, That's what it is. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all could talk about the 2026 and 2027 for a safety net. Shout to John. That's not a sub. I'm talking straight to John because he said it. Y'all can do that. Y'all's cool with me. But I want to talk about, and I want to know where I want John to pull up because he was talking about media day too. He was waiting for this. But I'm not throwing a link in the chat right now because I'm fitting the playing to win. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, I'm not thinking about 2026. I'm not thinking about no grieving process. That's what you talking about. But no, talk about what you talk about. Don't talk about what I'm talking about. You know, worry about your grieving process. Don't talk to me about no grieving process. You know what I'm saying? Like the player that I like is in the NBA. You know, Kai Jones is he in the NBA? You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the players on this team. You talk about Zach Edey, not on this team. I'm talking about making the most out of the players on this team. You want to extract and talk about other players on other teams and possibly having them on this team. You can do that. I watch your content. You do a live and you do that and you talk about that and I'll come to your live while you talk about that. But don't tell me what I'm grieving about. Don't put words in my mouth about especially the future. No, we waited mad long for media day. It's media day. I'm talking about right now. Don't be mad at me because Cam Thomas is still a best scorer. And you, another one begging for the top 3 pick. Don't want to admit you mad as hell that Cam Thomas is still the best number 1 option after waiting 82 games for that whole season to end just to get the 8th pick. You don't want to be honest about your take. You don't want to be honest when people call you out on your shit leaf. Like I said, make up stream and talk about that 2026. Y'all could talk about 2027. Don't come over here telling me what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this season. This Brooklyn Nets season and how well Cam Thomas is going to play next to the rookies that play next to him. So yeah, I hope I made myself clear. Now, that being said, media day has been great. Media day has been awesome. It's amazing. You know what I'm saying? You got CJ Holmes. You got, you know what I mean? Jay from BK looked like he was in there. You heard? Like, yo, this is why I be saying Nets fans is the best fans. You feel what I'm saying? This is exactly what I wanted to see. The questions that needed to be asked were asked. There was no twinkle toeing around the mulberry bush. I'm telling y'all, man, I'm gonna stop playing on my handle. Leaf and anybody else out there that want to play with my handle. That's a fact. Let that be clear. Like I said, I invite y'all to debate. Y'all didn't want smoke with me. Don't play with my words. If I say something, I said it. Don't play. Nah. And don't talk to me like I ain't been a Nets fan before Cam Thomas came to this team. Don't talk to me like Cam Thomas ain't the best draft pick Sean Marks ever drafted. Don't talk to me like Zach Edey ever played for this team. Kai Jones ever played for this team. Do not watch your manners when you talking about my name. Yo, man, when y'all gonna learn? When y'all gonna learn, man? Oh my gosh. Stop. See? 2027. So everybody's just going down the line, praying for the future. Yo, what about right now? It's a shame he ain't gonna start the season. I gotta say, he ain't gonna. If he don't start the season, that's a shame. Jay from BK calling somebody out. Okay, Sean Mark says the Nets spoken with Michael Porter. Yeah, man, it gotta be that way. Oh man, Jordan Poole. We're gonna get to that tonight. I ain't gonna get to all of the content right now. See, look, the Nets are 72 over the last 19 games when KD are playing out there, bro. But they ain't play a lot of games. We didn't get what we deserve. We didn't get them playing 80 over 100 games together. We didn't get that. Wow, Giannis want to work with Carmelo. We're gonna get to that later. We're gonna get to that later. USA versus Will would be happening. It's 3 teams, a round robin tournament, 2 USA teams, 1 world team. Okay, what's this?
Here are the details.
Hold on.
4 total games. So USA versus World will be happening. It's 3 teams. It's a round robin tournament, 2 US teams, 1 world team. And essentially how this is going to go, I'm told, here are the details. 4 total games, 12 minutes per game. So a total of 48 minutes of action. So it's essentially 1 full game, NBA game regulation. So these 3 teams will face off against each other in 4 total games, 48 total games here in the 2026 All-Star Game for minors. So the USA versus World will be happening. It's 3 teams. It's a round-robin tournament, 2 US teams, 1 world team. And essentially how this is going to go.
I'll find out some more about this. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to really speak on this, but it does seem like a good thing for basketball. It's good for basketball. I'll say that. Shout out to Leaf. Shout out to Ice. Subscribe to them. You know what I'm saying? Again, this is one of my favorite quotes of the night. It's definitely frustrating, but at the end of the day, I'm here to play ball. That's the main thing, playing the game I love. So again, micro, macro, the business is important, but he's humble about being able to play the game that he loves. I gotta love a player like that. That could be from any player to think like that. I gotta love that, because some players fall out of love with basketball and just fall in love with the lifestyle. He's somebody that still loves basketball, and don't act like what I'm saying ain't true. There's players that fell out of love with the lifestyle. I mean, fell out of love with playing basketball, and it's just a job, you know, and for them, it's just a job for them. And they, you know what I'm saying, don't really stay conditioned to play at the elite NBA level, you know, and they only not nice because they lazy. And you know what I mean? They caught up in a lifestyle that the NBA brings them. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Claude Smith. He said, great show, Breezy. Appreciate you. Bruh, the winning circle start with the coaching. The culture is about the winning circle. The front office doing the right thing. Sam Presti is praised for putting that team together, because it takes more than talent to put on the same team. You could put talent on the same team, and I don't mean they're going to win. You need certain pieces. And what I'm saying is, you see OKC, for instance, they say, damn, what did we miss? It was perimeter defense. What they do? They went out and got Caruso. That's Presti giving praise. It's not all about having or not having Cam Thomas to be, in your opinion, I guess, quote unquote, the winner circle. It's not only him. It's what Sean Marks does. It's what Jordi Fernandez does. It's what the players do as well. It's a collective. And that's what I'll be trying to say. It's a collective. Y'all making it seem like the win and loss resides on Cam Thomas' shoulders. No, that's not true. We got a lot going on, and more of it is in player development. More of it is establishing the backcourt with a big point guard, you know, that could be a rebounding guard and push the pace once they, you know what I'm saying, get the ball off the rebound to create some of that offense. You know, that's not necessarily Cam Thomas' style. He's more of a half-court player, in my opinion. He's one of the better half-court players that I've seen in the NBA. There's a lot of players that can play full court and half-court. Not to say Cam Thomas ain't deadly. He's not dangerous on the he's very dangerous on the you know, on the fast break. I've seen that. But at the end of the day, he's a great half-court player, and that's what you need when the game slows up. You know, when the game slows up, you're going to need a half-court player, and that's what you get with Cam Thomas. But this is a great question. I think they might get a nod to MPJ, Claude Smith, but I do want it to go to CT. I do want it to go to Cam Thomas because he's a veteran when he been with Jordy Fernandez last season. So he would know the system, you know. I think he is rightfully so. This team, he has the most experience with the teammates and the coach. I think he should be the one option, and MPJ should be the second option based on his championship pedigree. You know, that's how I feel, Claude. Word. But yeah, man, listen, I'm gonna be back. You know what I'm saying? Nets fans is the best fans. I wasn't trying to make this a long, you know what I'm saying, stream. I just wanted to pull up because it's happening right now. It's very immediate. And I wanted to let y'all know, man, I appreciate y'all. You know what I mean? All of y'all helping me grow the page, all the content creators, all of y'all, you know what I'm saying? Leaf, Easy, Ice, John, even Hoops. Not really. He be coming up sometime, but he do pull up. That's my guy for real, though. I'm like, yo, all of the content creators that help build the fan base, whether they on my show or not, shout to y'all. That's Nets Kingdom, Jay from BK, DJ, you know what I'm saying? Easy, all of the guys that I'll be tagging on Twitter, on X. Shout to all y'all. Shout to all y'all for sharing it. Ice, I can't forget my guy, Ice. Shout to Notorious. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that be on the panel, shout to all of y'all, man. The Nets fan base is growing, and I love it. You know, last but not least, there's a grand opening of the Brooklyn Basketball Training Center Thursday. I'm trying to be there. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get there, but I'm trying to be there. It's, you know what I mean? I think it's free. You got to be RSVP. But besides that, man, you know what I'm saying? It's you know, it's gonna be a great time, I imagine. And I want to say I appreciate all y'all, man. Nets fans is the best fans. We're gonna be back with more